Do you consider the gym like a powerlifting, CrossFit, bodybuilding, or just a serious gym? Or what would you consider it really?
We're an athletic club. And I mean, that's part of the reason we chose athletic club instead of health club, instead of gym. I believe everyone is an athlete.
Yeah.
It just changes, depends on their ability, it depends on what their goals are. Everyone's an athlete. So we're an athletic club. I train a 90-year-old lady that comes in, my grandmother. She's awesome. And it's amazing to see her transform and be able to do things on her own. She called me the other day all excited that she'd gone in and changed her curtains by herself, pulled her curtains down, washed them, dried them, hung them back up on her own. So all those exercises we're doing for my shoulders must be working, Yeah. And then I see the group of 18 to 25-year-olds who are just getting freakishly strong. It's like,
oh yeah,
it's amazing to see. And I mean, it's very, very self-serving because I can watch. I've never trained you. Mm-hmm. I've never worked out together, but I've been able to watch you get better, get stronger, get bigger, get leaner in the time that we've been working out together again, right?
Yeah.
So it's like everybody's getting better, but part of it's the environment because it is a positive environment. But at the same time, I've seen you go and encourage someone that's working out that you don't even know. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be.
The kind of culture that should have in a gym.
So we're not a powerlifting gym or a CrossFit gym, and I'm not a CrossFit affiliate, but we wanted to provide a space that anybody with any goal, any interest when it comes to a gym can come in and benefit from. So we train a little bit of everybody that comes in. We have our youngest is 11, our oldest is 91, and we have pro athletes and everybody in between. Yeah.
So as far as like affiliates and sponsored athletes, do you have any companies that you're affiliated with, or anyone that you sponsor or anything?
No, a couple of people that want to compete in powerlifting or bodybuilding. If we can, we always try to help them.
Yeah.
But I'm always trying to help them do bigger and better. So the little bit that I could offer with an entry fee, we try to do. But I'm hoping they get one of those big, 6-figure endorsement deals or sponsorships. Mm-hmm. So it's I don't ever want to be in anybody's way. I like being our own entity. I don't want to be affiliated with anybody else. We've just always kind of done our own thing. So we're really good at managing a general membership and personal training and sport-specific training. So that's what we do. I don't sell supplements. I don't do any of that other stuff. Not knocking anybody that does. Yeah. It's just that we're good at what we're good at. And I'd rather partner with other people. We have a partnership with NutriShop. They're great. Yeah. So literally, if you need supplements, I'm going to send you to talk to James Adams, and he can take care of you. I don't need to sell you the supplements. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just rather kind of build those relationships than have to do it in-house.
As far as the places that are moving in here, like the brewery and the restaurant, yes. Are you going to have anything with them?
Ultimately, I'd want them to do some. I don't know what kind of food they're going to have. But
hopefully they do some healthy. That'd be awesome.
Something, yeah. I mean, awesome. Even if they grill their meat, it'd be fine. If you can do a grilled chicken or grilled steak or some sort of grilled fish salad or whatever, it'd be great. So ultimately, I've thrown it out there a couple times. So we'll see if we have a Luray Athletic Club item or Luray Athletic Club approved.
I feel like Luray Mills could turn into sort of like an epicenter of Gastonia if it was done right.
You got it.
If it was done right.
That's the plan. They want to encourage as many small businesses that benefit the community to move in here. So you'll see the brewery, you'll see a drop-in daycare that's coming. A lot of really cool ideas. Photography studio upstairs, home decor, retail spaces opening up. So I think you'll see, this time next year, you'll see a completely different space.
What's the photography studio?
I'm not sure. I met her about 2 weeks ago, and
you know what her name is?
I don't, unfortunately, yeah.
That's really
I know they've done their letter of consent and everything, but I didn't know them from.
If they have a white background, that's something I've been actually looking for just to do photo shoots. I just have my mom do the photo shoots, but I don't have a white backdrop of the lighting. Which
Gotcha.
That can just, it's really helpful.
There you go. So yeah, it should be right upstairs. And then an ice cream smoothie shop.
Ice cream smoothie shop? I've heard something about like frozen yogurt.
Yep. So I think down here on the opposite end.
Oh god.
Yeah.
See, like I plan on like never leaving here.
Hey.
I'll probably go to Charlotte, but never into just Gastonia. Just here and stay here. Maybe go to I don't need to go anywhere.
Hey. So there's maybe I won't give you too much information, but from what I understand, there's going to be a farmers market here as well.
I was kind of I don't want to say praying, but hoping all this stuff would happen, like the market, and then frozen yogurt, coffee shop. I mean, even if there's not a coffee shop, there's so many lounge areas. It doesn't really matter.
Oh yeah.
Still, I'm the type of person that just likes to sit out at Books A Million. I've been going to Books A Million since I was 6.
Okay.
So I just sit there and read and drink coffee and like just that smell of the coffee, reading the books, chilling out.
Oh yeah.
Never will get old. I'll do that until I'm 95.
Oh yeah.
But
I get up every morning at 4:15 to read. I start my day with a cup of coffee and I read. And it's kind of my quiet time. If I have administrative stuff that I need to do, I'll do it. Something I'm working on, I work on it. But typically, a cup of coffee, and I'm trying to finish up something I'm reading. Because again, there's so much information out there.
There's a lot.
Are you a Ty Lopez fan?
I love Ty Lopez.
Yeah.
It's funny how different him and Gary Vaynerchuk are. Like for a while, I thought they hated each other because of the puns they would use that sort of sound like.
Right.
And then they interviewed each other, and I was like, because I've got a friend, my business partner. He's a big Ty Lopez fan.
Okay.
He likes Gary Vaynerchuk, but I'm more Gary Vaynerchuk. He's more Ty Lopez because he's got an internet marketing background. I've been doing internet marketing for about 3 years, but like he's really, really good at it.
Oh yeah.
If you look him up on YouTube, he'll say how I went from 0 to 30 grand a month on Kindle Publishing.
Okay.
So I was doing Kindle Publishing, and that's how I met him. I started looking into to get better and better at it, and I found his video of how he did that. He's one of the top guys at Kindle Publishing, but
that's awesome.
He likes Ty Lopez. I mean, freaking getting hot again.
It's all right.
Ty Lopez is a little different, I guess.
Oh yeah.
He's more into marketing, whereas Gary Vaynerchuk's more like you have to do the work. You have to have had a bricks and mortar, and Ty Lopez is a little different as far as his philosophy.
And I think that they're conveying the same message. It's just that Gary V is much more direct in his approach.
Yeah.
And he understands what it took him. It's funny. I was on a conference call today talking about the same thing, and it's like you take a group of successful people, men and women. Doesn't matter the age, doesn't matter the background, doesn't matter the industry, and they all have very, very similar stories, very, very similar day-to-day activities, very, very similar characteristics, traits, habits. So I wonder if you can model what you want to do in life around those same characteristics, if it's a recipe for success. One of the things being having a healthy, active lifestyle, taking time for yourself, reading and educating yourself, learning consistently, and never being afraid to fail. I think anybody you talk to, you talk to the 70-year-old that invested with Apple, originally, who's sitting on $400 million. You talk to the guy, the Gaston County principal, who just on a whim hired a financial advisor 40 years ago. Now he's 75, retired, a millionaire. I think you'll find this very, very similar characteristics. So with Ty Lopez, he markets to the masses. So I think that if you were having a conversation with him, it'd be much more direct than a lot of the stuff that he puts out. You know what I mean? And Gary Vaynerchuk is just like, hey, he's like,
people off.
I know. He's very good at being himself. He's not going to sugarcoat anything.
No.
If he has something to tell you, he's going to tell you directly, and kind of take it or leave it. But it's all good information.
I love Ty Lopez, but I'm more the same. I'm more like Gary Vaynerchuk as just how I am. I don't like to really sugarcoat things, but at the same time, I'm not going to like shoot anybody down. I just don't. I don't want people to think it is easier than it is. It's not.
You got it.
None of it's easy.
That's why I respect Kai Green so much.
Oh yeah.
If you ever, I love him as an athlete, obviously, but he refuses to show the house he lives in, the car he drives, or anything else. He says it's not fair to the young folks like us that are aspiring to be pro bodybuilders, because it's not realistic to think that you're gonna be the top 1% of 1%.
Yeah, there's only 1% of people that have genetics like that.
Right.
You could take as many steroids, as many growth, whatever you want to do, but you'll
Mm-hmm.
never be like those guys.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
he's an interesting person.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
very, very
yeah.
artistic.
Oh, yeah.
I wish he was competing, though.
Yeah.
I'm sad that he's not competing.
Hey,
I think it's between Phil Heath and Dexter Jackson.
man.
Dexter looks insane this year.
You think Kevin Lebroni's going to place?
I think he'll place in the top 5, maybe not. Maybe.
I said top 5.
I think he'll be number 5,
Yeah.
honestly. But I think he's not. I don't think he had a chance of winning.
Hey.
I don't think he'd be able to come back that much. I mean, he surprises people, so I can't. I might be wrong. But
Yeah.
I think it's between Phil Heath and Dexter.
Dexter Jackson.
He looks insane.
Oh yeah.
He's older
He's
too.
like 48 or 49, I think.
Usually those guys, their legs fade a little bit. His
Mhm.
legs gotten bigger. What?
Hey.
No idea what's going on there. It's a bit crazy.
Oh yeah.
I'm ready to see the Olympia. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, it's next Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should play it in here.
Oh yeah. Because it'll be the anything that televised will have on. And I know they typically will show they do a replay the Sunday after the Olympia of the men's finals. But if it's on, yeah, we'll have it on.
How did you go about hiring your staff and your personal trainers and all that sort of stuff?
Well, thankfully we already had Nelson Hicks, Michelle Hoffman, and Jordan Chapman. Jordan and I have been working together for the longest. You know, he's been with me since like August of 2010, I think. So I mean, almost 7 years now, or 6 years. We just had 6-year anniversary. But I wanted to hire like-minded people who were passionate about helping other people. I didn't care how many clients they had. I didn't care how much money they made. They had to have a certification, but I wasn't caught up on all the things that most corporate gyms want. You know, they typically hire good people on paper. I wanted just to hire good people.
It makes no sense. You look at someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right.
I don't want to say the guys now that compete in the Olympia are not as smart.
Right.
But I was watching something. I was watching Phil Heath a couple days ago, and he said that eating fish thins the skin, and I almost passed out. I was like, why? It's 2016. Why would you say that? I'm like, gosh, I love Phil, but I hate when people say that eating fish thins your skin.
Hey.
Can't stand that comment.
It's you know, but Arnold was a businessman.
Arnold was, he wrote a book, and it's a really good book. It's still, there's some more information that's come out now that disproves some of it.
You know, he was a millionaire before he won his first Miss Universe. Yeah.
He was?
Yeah. He had been investing in real estate the entire time he was in the United States.
I had no idea.
There was a point in time where he was living with the Weeders, and all of his money that he made, he reinvested into real estate.
He was just really, really good at business before that.
Always has been.
I thought actually I had, back before I started writing, I didn't start writing, I had people write these books for me. They were business books.
Okay.
That was something I was doing last year. And I wrote a book on Arnold Schwarzenegger and Dwayne Johnson. I did these books called Versus Heroes, and I did 10 of them. Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Dwayne Johnson was one of them.
Gotcha.
I never wrote any of them. I had someone like inform me, but I was studying all those people. And so I had 20 different heroes per se and books like that. But I didn't really know that he was that into investing before Olympia.
Yeah, and before it was popular, right? Like, you know, and I'm sure there were people that were, you know, real estate developers and everything else, but, you know, real estate wasn't hot, you know, in the 50s and 60s, you know? I mean, I'm sure it was, but it wasn't a popular thing to do, flipping houses and flipping businesses. But he's always had his hand in several different businesses.
Are you into real estate at all?
My wife and I had some rental properties. I don't have the heart to be in real estate. For me, it was just trying to help people.
Yeah.
And the people that we tried to help,
Didn't really do it.
they just took advantage of us.
Yeah.
There's no other way to say it. We had a couple of good experiences, but the majority weren't good experiences. So never again.
I went to a Robert Kiyosaki seminar in Charlotte a couple months ago, and I learned a lot.
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah, I learned a lot, but they tried to sell me like a $400 course that I wasn't going to go to because they really tried. They were really good salesmen. They almost convinced me to start investing, but I'm like, I'm doing all the stuff that I was starting to do. The stuff I'm doing right now. I was starting to write the book that I just finished. I was had the idea for the program that I wanted to build and all that sort of stuff. And I was like, if I decide to start jumping into real estate right now, as lucrative as it seems, it's a very, very, very bad idea.
Well,
so I couldn't.
The only advice I can give you is whatever you feel like your passion and purpose is, stay in that lane.
I
So
feel- I
now,
feel-
you can explore any avenue that you want to within that
Yeah,
lane,
yeah.
but stay in that lane.
That's the mistake that I've made before.
Yeah.
When I was always into entrepreneurship. I just didn't know it.
Right.
When I was like 6 years old, I would say that I never wanted a job. I didn't know what that meant. I just knew
Right.
that be like I want to be able to do all this stuff and create this stuff, and I never really knew that meant entrepreneurship. And
Right.
Not until I was like 15 or so did I actually start to do anything with it. I
Mhm.
just thought that I was weird,
Right.
but
So when I realized that I could go to my great aunt's or grandmother's house and do something for her and they paid me, I go by there and cut their grass. If I saw the car out there, I go by there and wash the car.
I
Say,
did that. I did that a lot. I did that a lot.
But I mean, and again, it's about that behavior certain people have that you either have it or you don't.
It's weird, and like a lot of people don't like me for saying this,
Mhm.
but every time I've had a job, it's almost like I've felt like I've had a little bit of energy taken from me. Like I don't feel all there. Like
Right.
at HH Reg, I would go and I would like enjoy selling to people, but I just didn't love it. I
Right.
never had one single job ever that I loved. Like it's sad to say that, but
We got to work, we got to make money, we got to be able to eat, but a lot of it is effort, right?
Mhm.
So I mean, my grandfather told me that there are two types of men in the world. They have the same job. They dig ditches. Every ditch they dig, they get $100. You have a man that can barely feed his wife, barely feed his family, and you have a man that's a millionaire, doing the same job, making the same money.
I'm guessing
So-
you read Dale Carnegie, Andrew Carnegie.
No, I actually haven't.
You haven't?
I will though.
Oh, man.
I will.
It's-
I will.
it's Probably it's really good books.
But that's what I see a lot in our industry. You've got these great trainers that don't want to get up early in the morning. These great trainers that can't get out of their own way because they want to work out at this time, so they don't want to train anybody during that time. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, this is your job.
Yeah.
But everybody's different, So you can't get past the work ethic. You can't get past putting in the hours. If you want to be get warmed up. If you want to be a better trainer, you got to train.
Yeah.
If you want to get better at squatting, you can't manipulate the time on the bar. You got to squat, right? So if I want to be a better trainer, but I don't want to pick up clients, how am I going to get any better? So it's one of those things. You got to put in the time. You've got to want to do it. There has to be some sort of passion or purpose there. But it's got to be in you. I think some people are born with it.
Yeah.
Some people aren't.
People think that because people make money in there because there's a good market for it, because it's lucrative right now, that they'll be successful at it.
Mhm.
I've learned the hard way that eventually you'll stop doing that because it'll get irritating after a while. Even if
Right.
other people are really good at it,
Yeah.
if you're not passionate about it, eventually you'll stop
Oh yeah.
because you're sane.
You got
But
it.
you're not sane if you're doing something that's your passion because you'll keep going.
Yeah.
You don't, it's not, doesn't feel like work. It just kind of feels like you're just,
I've got a buddy that does mold and asbestos abatement. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to do it since he was in college, and he does. he probably does $50,000 or $60,000 a month doing it. He enjoys it, but he's always complaining about hiring good people to work for him. He's like, he pays them really well, $25, $30 an hour. But if you don't want to do it, it doesn't really matter what the job is. He's trying to pull in people to do this job that he enjoys doing. But if you don't enjoy the job, the money doesn't matter. At a certain point, the money won't satisfy you or fulfill you the way living a purpose or passion-filled life will.
yeah.
So my thought is, if you're willing to work for nothing and pour yourself into it, then the money will come. If you chase the money, you'll never feel like you have your passion or purpose is being fulfilled. You always have an empty feeling about the job you're doing, the life you're living.
So do you consider the gym a success so far?
Opening the doors was a success. I define success very differently than most people. I've never put a dollar amount on success. I define success with having the ability to do what you want to do when you want to do it. And that doesn't really matter. The money doesn't matter. And if I asked you, how would your life be different day to day if you had $100 million in your bank account? You're going to give, I do this.
Yeah.
But how would your day-to-day life be different? It wouldn't be,
No.
right? So that means you're living a pretty good life. So that's always kind of how I sum up success. being able to do what you want to do when you want to do it. For me, it's helping as many people as I can. If I'm missing my boys or missing my wife, to be able to say, all right, I'm going to rearrange my schedule. I'm going home today to go see them, right? That's how I define success. It's the ability to do what you want to do when you want to do it. The money will come, you know. I didn't open a gym. I didn't open the first gym to be rich. Again, being able to be in on people's fitness journeys is a very rich way of life, because I get to enjoy their successes with them, right? The person that loses 100 pounds, I get to be right there with them. The person that benches 225 for the first time, I'm right there with them. So I would say it was a success before we opened, but the way that we define success.
From someone that's starting a gym from scratch, they don't have a big social media following, they sort of know what they're doing, but they have a lot to go through to get there. What would you tell somebody that wants to start a gym in the next year?
Decide what you're offering. Decide what it is that you're going to give the people, your members, your clients. Figure out what that is and start. You don't have to have $1 million worth of equipment. You don't have to have 800,000 square feet. It doesn't matter. People, your customers buy into you. You're the product. So as long as you're offering what they want, they'll buy into you. You know, we train people in the hallway with no equipment, and I think we have some pretty amazing equipment now, right? And everything in between. Just start. You got to have your business plan. You got to have an idea what you want to offer. The biggest thing is start it. If you don't have the money to open a facility yet, fine. There are plenty of you've been other places. You've been into Atlanta, to New York, to LA. There are plenty of trainers that don't have gyms that they train out of. They train outside.
Yep.
There are people that train people in their homes, and they take their entire gym with them in a duffel bag. So the brick and mortar isn't as important as people think it is. It's just starting. If you want to train somebody, their gyms, you can come here and train, right? There are gyms that open their doors and let you train and come in and shadow. But the biggest thing is putting yourself, just being immersed in the industry, in a gym, in that lifestyle. See if it's something you want to do. If it's your passion and purpose, you'll do it. That's it.
That's kind of what you did, and then from that, when you started at the gym?
It's always organic, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the initial business plan, I wanted 100,000 square feet, not thinking about how much it cost to do.
Yeah.
So I wanted to open a place that was 100,000 square feet. I opened a place that was 1,285 square feet. So I mean, and we loved it. Do I miss Live Fit sometimes? Of course I do. I loved our little space. It was our home. People would stop by and visit, just say hello. But this place has been very, very welcoming as well, and we're getting there too. Oh yeah. But you just got to do it. You got to start.
A lot of people don't.
Oh,
They
yeah.
don't ever get started. They just talk about it a lot.
Mhm.
There's a lot about it on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Some people really want to do it, think about it more,
Mm-hmm.
and then get mad at the people that do it.
There's and of course I can't remember his name, but there's a motivational speaker that says, there are more ideas, $1 million, $1 billion ideas in the graveyard than there are out here where we are, right? So
I feel like I would know who that is. 'Cause I listen to
I guess
him.
he's got a beard, older guy. I can't remember his name. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I was gonna say his name. Yeah, I can't.
He's coming to Charlotte in October, but not Charles Lawrence, but something like that. But he's
Is it Les Brown?
Les Brown. You got
Yeah, I knew it.
Les Brown.
Knew it. Heard it
So-
before him too.
Yep. But,
Love Les Brown.
Yeah, man. So
Great. All right, well that'll conclude the interview.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
that's a lot. I think that'll help people.
Okay,
a
yeah,
lot.
man, I appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity.